that was my legacy. I blew the budget, the annual budget, at Ascot Park on their billboard. Ascot Park was the local Brands Hatch, and there were races there in the season on the half mile every Friday night. And the track was not cinders like in America, but adobe, rolled adobe. Would you believe at night it absorbed moisture out of the air, and certain bikes gripped better than others, and the Norton engine, the Norton racers gripped better, seemingly, than the Triumphs and the BSAs. And suddenly Norton became a star at, there we go, and that's 30 foot by 8 foot. And we had a budget of $2,000, and they wanted $1,200 for the year. And I managed to get it down, including the painting, and that was in green. We had a green ball. I'll show you that in a moment. I managed to, I think, get it down to 800 quid. And would you believe, at the end of the year, it was only for a year, they didn't have anybody the next year to take it, so we got a year free. And how the expression, a lot of talk about Norton, I was partly responsible for that, but by luck. Brian Sholar, our very efficient service manager, an expat, who'd left AGS Matchless in London to go and work for Bud Eakins, the famous Bud Eakins. And Dennis Poore, in about '68, had poached him as our service manager. And Sholar was a good spanner man, and one morning he was working on a customer's bike, and he came out at coffee time. He said, "God, those Nortons are talky." He'd been testing the bike. He said, "God, they're talky." And we just cooked up this expression, a lot of talk about Norton. And I said, "Look, I'm going to convert this into an ad, into a graphic." But I think it's Brian who must have take the credit for a lot of talk, you know, a lot of talk. And I thought, well, yeah, Americans don't like proper grammar, so we altered it to lot. And it's lasted, hasn't it, through the ages, you know? Yeah. We did some electric clocks. With the clock face, had the green ball. I haven't got a picture of but I've got a picture of the trademarks somewhere. And I think we ordered 30, and I think they sent us 130 or something. We only had about 60 to 80 dealers. We, Norton Village Corporation, were the importer, distributor in America for just 7 states. Now, 2 of those were Alaska and Hawaii, so there wasn't a lot of business in Alaska and Hawaii. But of course we had California, Arizona, Nevada, and so on. But we didn't have the whole of the country, which we shared that with Berliner Corporation back in New Jersey on the East Coast. So we were relatively tiny, as I said earlier, 7 or 8 people, compared with BSA-Triumph's 150. Anyway, when 130 clocks arrived, and we only had maybe 20 active dealers and 60 or 70 non-active, you know, much slower dealers, what are we going to do with 130, whatever the figure is of the clocks? So we used to have sales meetings where we, the team, would go out to Arizona or Oregon and have a sales meeting of the dealers in that area. And I used to hold up these clocks and say, "Now guys, this does not leak oil," you know, because our commandos, God bless them, leaked oil, the same as every other British bike, and it was a feature. But described as character, you know, the deficiencies of British bikes now, and by the people who were selling at the time. Well, our bikes have got character, you know, but that's another story. And so the Americans liked the joke of our $20 clock that didn't leak oil, and we managed to sell them. And, so when they created the Commando, Dennis Poore insisted that we use this green ball with the Norton, the traditional scroll Norton, every time and he, on fear of the punishment was death, I think, if we didn't say isolastic, you know, if the words didn't include isolastic, one was severely punished. So that was quite popular. We didn't really know much about the green ball, but it didn't upset us. After we merged with Triumph, we came up with known as the tadpole, not popular internally, and there's a sort of NVT there, but not popular at all. And going back to basics, you cannot beat the Norton curly scroll, can you? Yeah, it's a great. Now, Dennis Poore coveted Triumph. That was why we merged with the BSA-Triumph, who'd gone bust. And I had to get on a plane at Poore's instruction and sell 1,000 Tridents in a week. Can you believe?